Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, the things you might have been through within your life, how to handle these people or how to go no contact with these people, and how to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you are new to the channel and you do find the information helpful, please hit the subscribe button. There's also a notification bell, so if you want notifications, hit the bell and that'll let you know when a new video is being released. I do always advise that you listen to these kinds of videos when you're in the right frame of mind to do so, or you've got something to do afterwards to pick you back up, to make your day work for you. So this video is going to be about the Narcissist smear campaign, but based on how they bait you into the smear campaign. There is another video about baiting, which I will link up here, which explains more about how they bait through the relationship. This is going to be about the smear campaign. When it comes to the smear campaign, the narcissist usually deploys this method of abuse because they either want to escape accountability for their own behaviour. They want to make you out to be the bad guy. They want to look innocent. They want to avoid any consequences for their actions. So they can do the smear campaign in that way. They will either play the victim and they will twist the stories around of everything they did to you. They will tell people you did that to them. Or they will play the hero of how much they helped you, how much they tried to save you, how much they did for you, to get people to look up to them. More the grandiose narcissist will play the hero of how much they did for you. The victim narcissist will say how everything they did to you, they'll tell people you did it to them. Or when a narcissist feels like they are losing control over you, whether they discarded you or you discarded them. When they discard you, they often think that they can come back at some point when it meets a need of their own. And if they come back for the Hoover and it's not working, they can get the face on. They are very good at having a face ache, and they get the face on and they want to destroy you because they cannot control you. They cannot get back what they rightfully think is theirs. Or if you've discarded them, they take this as a massive dent to their ego. This is criticism to them. So they want to be the puppet master of all the people around them, and they deploy the smear campaign to try and take you down, to try and control you some more so that you conform to their demands. There's lots of ways narcissists do this, and they often start the smear campaign off while you are still in the relationship with them without you even knowing what's happening. And they bait you into certain situations, they provoke you into certain situations so that you're not sure what's happening, and they can use these against you. Things like triangulation. A narcissist will often be going around your friends and family and their friends and family, informing them of things that you have said about them, about the person the narcissist is talking to, that you've no clue this is happening. And it's often what the narcissist thinks of that person, but they relate to the person and, oh, so-and-so thinks that you are insecure. Anything and everything, whatever the narcissist personally thinks about that person, whatever insecurity that person has, the narcissist will usually pick up on insecurities on various people, and they will use that insecurity against them, but they will also use it by saying that you have said that insecurity about that person. So that person then starts to dislike you without you even knowing it. And when you then start trying to communicate and talk to that person, they've already got that sense in their mind that they don't particularly like you because you've spoke badly of them, even though you haven't. It's a narcissist playing those games. What we have to watch out for here is if someone is constantly talking badly about all other people, if someone is constantly putting you and those around you down, it's those that you need to look out for, not the third person. And another way a narcissist will cause the smear campaign without you even knowing is things like family occasions, special occasions. If there's a birthday party or something like that going on and you've all been invited, the narcissist will find some excuse or some reason of why they don't want to go. This is often the victim narcissist, the one that's a bit more introverted, the covert narcissist. They will find some reason of why they don't want to go. And because you care about them, you will go along with what they want to do. You might try and giddy them up a bit and try and get them into it. But if they don't want to go, you will tend to go along. You'll probably not go by yourself because they will pity play or cause the arguments either before you go or when you come home. So you don't want to go by yourself and leave them because it's not worth the arguments, it's not worth the hassle. So you'll often fawn and decide not to go. The narcissist will then go and tell everybody that it's your fault, that they would love to come, but because of you, they can't. So people start to look badly on you because it'll not just be once, it'll be quite a few times. Or the grandiose, the extrovert narcissist that enjoys being the life and the soul of the party and putting on a grand show of how amazing they are, they will go all out to put you in a bad mood in the morning. They will either try and keep you up at night to give you that sleep deprivation. They will sabotage things, they'll sabotage outfits. They'll just make it go as hard as possible. They'll not make your life easier. They'll not make it run as smoothly as possible because life has ups and downs, and they will make sure they cause as many downs as possible to make it difficult. And they will chip and chip and chip and chip and chip away at you. They will invalidate you. They will make you question yourself. They will bait you into feeling down and feeling emotional and questioning yourself. And they might even tell you that people at the party don't like you. So you walk in there feeling all on edge and nervous, and then they are the life and the soul of the party. And you're sat there feeling quite insecure and quite nervous, and they'll not help you. They'll be there telling everybody that you don't want to be there and look how miserable you are and things like that, to try and deflect who they are and what they do onto you, and to try and paint you out to be someone you're not. But because you're acting that way, it matches the narcissist story that they are telling those around you. And then they can come at you while you're there with things like, oh, have a drink, cheer you up, lighten up, come on, and they can egg you on to try and get you back into that mood. Oh, you don't need to be in such a negative mood, you always ruin everything, those kinds of things. They can try and convince you to start having drinks and get into the mood, and you might do this. They will keep buying you and buying you and buying you drinks and ploughing you with alcohol, so that when you are having a good time and dancing and doing all the things and under the influence of alcohol, doing things that you perhaps wouldn't normally do, they will then turn around and tell people how you're an alcoholic. Things like that. They use lots of different manipulation methods to do this. And it's the same with belongings. When it comes to belongings, they will often keep your belongings. So you look like you're constantly messaging them, because you might be constantly messaging them, because they will keep the things that matter to you the most. They will keep the sentimental things. They will keep the things that will bait you into that reaction, because you naturally have a bond with those things. They've got that sentimental value, that emotional pull that makes you want those items back. So they are baiting you by keeping those things to get you to keep coming after them, to keep messaging them, to keep asking them. And they will tell people that they might not show the message, but oh look, they just can't leave me alone, they can't get enough of me, and they will use that to other people against you, but they'll not tell the whole story. They'll just tell the story that they want people to believe, or they'll leave their belongings with you, and then you might be messaging them asking when they want to come and get it, and they'll be telling people, oh, they've kept my things, that they will not return anything that's mine. They're bitter, they're jealous, they will find a way to twist the story, and they will find the way of you messaging them to use that against you with other people. Some will actually stay completely quiet. Some will stay really, really, really quiet. And when it comes to belongings, because you're trying to find out what's happening, you're trying to find out what's going on, you might be reaching out to other people while the narcissist stays quiet. Or they can also, with children, they can play really, really good mummy, good daddy, perfect mummy, perfect daddy roles in public. They can take the children to all the activities. They can be on the parks, usually to try and meet a new partner, to try and exploit somebody else, but they will be there with the children, and the same, they might take them up to school. Some will have nothing to do with children whatsoever, but some will play the perfect parent role. They'll take them up to school, they'll probably be trying it on with the teacher, and they will be acting like the perfect parent to get people to admire them for their parenting skills, to get people to think, oh, look at how amazing they are. And they pull people in on that. They pull people into a relationship by using their own children. Yet at the same time, they will be letting those children down. They will be causing conflict with you by arranging something and then not turning up to pick them up. So if you take a stand of not letting them mess the children around, they can start playing the victim and saying to people, they won't let me see my children. They're bitter. They're this, that and the other. They will use the children to play both sides. They will use the children to play the hero, the grandiose of look how amazing I am, and to play the victim of look how horrible they are, look at how they treat me of all people when I'm such a perfect parent and they don't even allow me to see my children. And this is a smear campaign that they do against you to get people's attention, to feel superior and to control you, so that we can go one or two ways. We can either defend ourselves, which is natural to want to defend yourself and explain yourself to people, and that just pulls you further into the narcissist games, or we can then conform to the narcissist demands, which then brings us down and makes us feel bad. And the thing is, in this kind of relationship, the narcissist will have caused some form of sleep deprivation. Most often there'll be some sleep deprivation. Most often you will be left with anxiety from those arguments and walking on eggshells for fear of reactions from them. You will be quite drained emotionally, physically, mentally. You can be exhausted. You can struggle to think straight, and because you are emotionally all over the place, you can come across as emotionally all over the place. And some during the relationship will have had you to the doctors for this. They will be blaming you that you're depressed, that you're tired, that they will find a way to twist it onto why you are at fault. And some will get you to the doctors. Some can get people on medications, and then they will be playing the hero, telling the people how much they tried to help you. And people don't see that they were the ones that actually sunk you into that state in the first place. Financial abuse. They can financially drain you any way they can. They can take loans out in your name, which can bait into more arguments. But when it comes to financial abuse, they can buy all the grand things, and they can tell people how much they spoilt you and how ungrateful you are, or buy lavish things and boast to people about these lavish things, and then tell people that they had to because of you, because you're greedy. They will find a way to say that you financially exploited them when they were actually the ones that financially exploited you. So when you come to tell your side of the story to people, the narcissist has already got in there first. And because they've twisted it all round, it's quite believable because it actually happened. They just say it happened where you were the villain and they were the victim. And things like when they do discard you, they will bait you in the discard stage because they can lie that they just want a break. They can just up and disappear, so you panic and you then start getting in touch with friends and family, and they will use this to tell people that you are stalking them, even though you're just concerned about them because they've just vanished. They will use that as evidence that you're stalking them. Or they will move on really, really fast, and often they'll have their phone either face down or always on them, or a code that you can't get into. Not that you should snoop through other people's things. A narcissist will do this sort of thing. They will not, their notifications will not show on the screen to give you that intrigue, to make you question what's going on, to make you curious. It's human nature to be curious about these things. And then when they discard you, often, not always, but it can be with the play of, I just need a break, I need to think about things, I need to work things out. Yet what they're doing is they're actually with someone else, and they'll make sure you accidentally find out about that someone else, and it's going to provoke emotions in you so that you go looking for answers, you go looking for questions. Because the narcissist has already smeared your name to that person, you can actually come across as looking unhinged and looking crazy, and matching what the narcissist has said, making the smear campaign all the more believable. They can do this with things like in the divorce or in child custody arrangements. They can offer you something so that you think you're going to go in there and you've reached some sort of compromise, and then when you get in there, they take it away, which leaves you dumbfounded, it leaves you shocked, and it can lead you to react in the middle of the courtroom, which is why when you're in this situation, don't call them a narcissist in a courtroom. You can explain their behaviour in a way, but without putting that person down. Don't react to them in a courtroom. Don't give them anything. Stick to what you rightfully deserve from the divorce. Stick to the childcare arrangements that are fair on the children, and do not react to the narcissist in the courtroom. The more you stay calm, the more likely their lies will unravel themselves. What they want to do is they want to provoke you to react while they stay calm. This is where you've got to twist it round on them and use their manipulation against them by you not doing anything wrong, just staying calm. Don't provoke them like they provoke you. Just stay calm, stay out of it. Stay on what is rightfully yours or what is right for the children, and don't get drawn into their games, because they will offer you something with one hand, they will snatch it away with the other, they will pull on these emotions and they will get your reactions, and then they will twist the story and blame it all on you. The same with cheating. When they've been cheating on you and you find out, they'll deny, they'll blame shift, they'll invalidate you, they'll use your insecurities to pick you apart, they will bait you, they will pick and poke and prod at you until you react. Then they'll get the camera out and film you and take it to the police. And you shouldn't have reacted, you shouldn't have behaved like that, and we do have to take responsibility for that. You get that double whammy, because not only have they cheated and hurt you and lied to you, but they've also then pressed charges on you. The best thing you can do with a narcissist is leave them to behave how they want to behave while you walk a completely different way from them. With a narcissist, you will hear so many false accusations said against you. Now, whether that's said directly to you to bait you, to provoke you into that reaction, or whether that's said to other people and they make sure that you hear about them, because we want to defend ourselves. It's human nature to want to set the story straight, to defend ourselves, to not want people to think badly of us. Everyone makes mistakes, and a narcissist will use any mistake you've ever made to spread the gossip. To those that gossip first, they will spread the gossip to the ones that are most likely to gossip, so it gets spread around faster. And we often want to put the story straight and defend ourselves, explain our intentions. The narcissist has already got in there. When it comes to things like this, we have to ride it out. This gossip only lasts for a week or a couple of days if we're not playing into it, because it gets boring. People find something else to gossip about. The more we play into their games, the more we begin to match the narcissist story, the longer it'll last, the longer the smear campaign will go on for. And some narcissists can up their games, but we do have to ride out the storm, which is the same as humiliation. They will try to humiliate you any way they can to make you feel weak so that they can further their control over you. The smear campaign is a devastating thing to go through. It's a really difficult time, and if you're in the middle of it, I've lived through a smear campaign, it's not easy. You will get through it. Life does get easier. There's several things you can do that will help you through it, and it's not easy. You've got to process your emotions. Just never in front of the narcissist. Do not give them the satisfaction. You have to process your emotions though. If you're feeling things like anger, resentment, you've got to process those because someone has poked some sort of weakness. Narcissists are very good. If they can't get to you directly, they'll get to the people you care about to try and get those reactions from you, to bait you. And it shows how little narcissists actually care, because somebody who cares about you would not want to hurt you. Narcissists use what they can to exploit you, to hurt you, to bring you down so that they can further their control over you. And so one thing we have to do is accept we are most likely going to lose people. We are most likely going to lose friends and family in a smear campaign. When it comes to the narcissist friends and family, that's their friends and family. They were friends and family with them first. If it's a relationship, if it's your parents or siblings, then it's also yours. But if it's a relationship, that was their friends and family first. So just no contact, delete and block. The hardest thing about that is feeling guilty for doing so. So process the emotions of guilt and do it to move on with your life. They were their friends and family first. You don't need them in your life. When it comes to your friends and family, if you lose some of your friends and family, they weren't that good a friend or family member in the first place. If they have known you first, knew who you were as a person, and then believe the narcissist over you. So if you lose a few people, yeah, they weren't your people. Let people make their own minds up. Don't try and tell people how they should think or how they should feel, because this is the one way to get people's backs up. So let people make their own minds up. If the narcissist is out there telling everyone that you've gone crazy, work on you, work on improving your life so that your actions prove that you've not gone crazy, rather than trying to correct what's being said, rather than trying to correct people's minds, where you can be in that emotional state, where you can be in that hypervigilance, looking out for what game is coming next. And you might come across looking as crazy or unhinged if you just take a step back and work on your life. The same as if they've encouraged you to drink at a party and you went along with it, and they're telling everybody that you're an alcoholic. When you're struggling with things like anxiety, it can be easy to have a glass of wine in the evening or two, and it can lead to 1 or 2 bottles. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've got a drink problem, but the narcissist will use this against you. And if drinking a glass or 2 helps, and it's not affecting your life, you can get up the next day and you can continue with life. There's no wrong in that. People go to the pub to have a drink, to socialise, so there's no wrong with that. If you are finding yourself drinking too much, find ways to cut back. Don't let your actions match the narcissist narrative of the story they're telling to other people. Evidence, if possible, gather any evidence you can, any facts and evidence for things like court cases, any messages, any emails, and watch your response in these things, because a narcissist knows exactly how to put things that will look good to other people but will provoke a reaction out of you. And when you fire that reaction back, they will just screenshot that little bit or a certain amount. They'll not tell the whole story. They will use your messages, your emails against you, either with family members or in the court system. With divorce and childcare arrangements, stick to what is rightfully yours, stick to what makes the children happy. If the narcissist is messing with the children's minds too much and the children are becoming all over the place, and you need to step in and limit or stop contact, and you've got to take that approach, whether you want to or not. Whether you believe that a child should always see its parent or whatever's happening, when you've got to take that approach, make sure if it's court ordered, make sure you're the one that goes to the court for the variation. Because if you don't, if you ignore a court order because you think you're in the right. And you probably are trying to protect your children, but if you ignore a court order, the narcissist is going to twist this against you and tell the court that you're parent alienation, and the court is going to look at you breaking an order and think that you are alienating the children against the parent. So if you have to take that step, make sure you go for the variation, because otherwise the narcissist will twist it around on to how you're the bad person and they're the brilliant person, and it'll no longer become about the children's best interest. You are looking at it as a children's best interest point of view. And I know it's difficult going to court and you hope that they'll not, but they will. So they will financially abuse you through the court system. They will always find a way. So you've got to try and always stay one step ahead of the narcissist game. You have to become emotionally unpredictable to the narcissist. The narcissist has learnt all your weaknesses. They've learnt all your strengths. They've learnt all your insecurities. And they know how to prod and poke away at each and every one to bait you into a reaction. And they use things that pull on your emotions, that either make you feel obligated into doing something, that make you feel guilty to do something, to conform to something, to make you feel anger, to make you feel resentment. They know exactly what to use to trigger those emotions, to bait you into a reaction. So you have to learn what they use to trigger you and what they're trying to gain from it. And then you have to become emotionally unpredictable to them by no longer giving them that reaction. No response is often the best response. Things die down a lot quicker when you're no longer playing their games. Which is difficult because most of the time when we're playing their games, when we're in the middle of it, we don't even know we're playing. We just assume that they are a kind, loving person. And when things start going wrong, because of all the gaslighting, because of all the blame shifting, we're often the ones left blaming ourselves, not realising we're actually playing their games. Boundaries. Get your boundaries. Whatever your boundaries are to you, know what you will and will not accept from other people. And that is it. You can give people one chance. People make mistakes. It's okay to give people one chance. But after that, no more. Know your boundaries, know your limitations, learn and discover who you are as a person. The only way to walk away and beat a narcissist is to no longer play, to focus on your life, to focus on where you want your life to take you now, and to leave those in the past. And yes, there is emotions to process. I shall add the video in the description on handling emotions, because we all have emotions. So it's about processing our emotions the right way. A narcissist processes their emotions the wrong way. They want to sink people. They want to bring people down, to feel better about themselves, to feel superior. They want to exploit people to get their needs met. So they know exactly how to pull on our emotions, because they do not care. They only care about serving their own needs. So we have to work on our emotions so that we can leave them in the past and move on with our future. Thank you very much for listening. Please add anything in the comments that's helped you through the smear campaign, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye.